Welcome to part 2. Now, I've had a very naive analysis of the situation in Kenya, a very naive analysis of where we stand right now in Kenya as far as politics is concerned. And it goes something like this. Uhuru Kenyatta still has all the cards in his hands. After all, he controls state machinery, he controls the police, he controls everything. Yeah? And therefore, it's just a matter of time. He has many more cards to play, but the opposition wamekwisha. Okay? In fact, this is the end of the career of Raila Odinga. Miguna is finished because he has been deported. End of story. What can he do? Forgive my laughter. As a rule in life, I never mock people. Okay? And I never mock anything, because when you start mocking people, you don't learn. Okay? But the reason why I'm laughing, I couldn't help it, because this is a very, very naive analysis of what's happening. Now, if I can take you to a very simple example. Yeah, in the last episode, I mentioned the political situation between King David in the Bible and King Saul. Now, if this analysis is correct, yeah, then why did Saul have a problem with David? Because after all, King Saul controlled state machinery. Yeah, the whole army was behind him. He just had to order the army to do this, to do that, and they do it. Yeah, he had the power to appoint or demote David to head his army, or even to head a section of the army. He had all the power. He had all the state machinery. So why was David a problem? And why did David win in the end? Now, of course, God had decided, and of course, God is all-powerful, and what he has decided, he has decided. Yeah, but take note of the politics. Yeah, because is God also not aware of the politics? Of course, the Almighty is aware of politics. He created the human nature. Yeah, and politics is human nature. If it is true that state machinery is everything, then actually, I put it to you, Saul would not have had a problem with David. David would have been absolutely no problem to King Saul. And God would have had to maybe strike down Saul dead for David to take over. Yeah? But what happened? The guy's political popularity just took off. And the Supus were singing at every opportunity that this king of ours kills only thousands, yeah? But David kills tens of thousands. Now, looking at the politics brutally and analyzing it as it is, yeah, Jubilee are rapidly running out of options. Indeed, Jubilee decisions are only acting to put the party, the government, in a corner which they cannot get out of. State machinery or no state machinery. Number one, the biggest advantage Jubilee have had until now, yeah, or until recently, was the image of the government as far as the international community was concerned. And the view was, yes, Jubilee is a corrupt government, but we need a stable Kenya. Yeah, and Jubilee are the people in government. They're the only people who can deliver a stable government to us that we can do business with. But that has rapidly changed. Yeah, in an editorial in a leading American newspaper, yeah, somebody has appealed to Trump, yeah, to tell off Uhuru and the Jubilee government for the draconian way in which they're dealing with the opposition. Yeah, tell them off for switching off the TV stations in the country. Now, the international community are not life members of Jubilee, yeah, and they have not taken any oaths, yeah, which prevent them from thinking straight. Okay, and you see, the other thing, unfortunately or fortunately, is that the international community are known to change with the wind faster than you can say the word wind. And it seems their thinking is that they're getting very impatient. Yes, they've been doing business with the Jubilee. Yes, they have a lot to gain from Jubilee. But hey, it is so many months since the elections, and it does not seem like Jubilee has got their ducks in a row. It does not seem that the Jubilee government is anywhere near restoring stability into Kenya. And to the foreign community, especially the main partners to Kenya, stability in Kenya is very important. So you can be sure Even as I make this recording, these guys are thinking of ways and means of restoring stability in Kenya as quickly as possible. And mark my words, it will not be long before they realize that the only way of restoring stability into Kenya, can you guess? Electoral justice. Hakuna kitu ingine. Now there's a fascinating bit of prophecy where somebody saw an election happening in Kenya being run by the United Nations. Yeah, I know that's very far-fetched. But I guess that's what prophecy is about. Yeah, if somebody comes to you and prophesies, you'll wake up tomorrow in the morning and you'll go to work, you leave your house at 6:30. That's not a prophecy because it's predictable. Or if they look up in the clouds and they think they can see signs of rain and they tell you tomorrow morning when you wake up it will be raining, that's not a prophecy. A prophecy is the kind of thing you're told and then your mouth just widens and then you say, what? Yeah, if you're the type to believe. And if you're just trying to analyze this thing, you don't know what's happening, yeah, you'll just say rubbish. That can never happen. Anyway, I got a very interesting call, yeah, not even from men of God, yeah. I think I've mentioned this in this channel before. And that same prophecy, I mean, they didn't know that I was aware of it, yeah. Somebody told me that they'd been praying and they were shown, actually there was an election happening in Kenya and it was being run by the UN. Well, whether it will be run by the UN, whether it will be run by the IBC, the long and short of it is that the only way of getting out of the crisis we're in Kenya, the shortcut, yeah, is to have a free, verifiable election. Yeah? Hakuna kitu ingine. Because an election, yeah, a free and fair election will clearly, yeah, establish a leader who is chosen by the vast majority of Kenyans, not by a small fraction of the population, which is what the whole problem in Kenya is right now. Because the 8th of August elections were nullified. And the repeat elections on 26th, according to CNN estimates, 28% turnout. Which means the vast majority of Kenyans were not involved. And which also means that the vast majority of Kenyans, by boycotting those elections, were saying no. They don't want to vote for the only candidate who stood in that election. Yeah, the only major candidate. Anyway, back to my point. The international community have tried to form a Nusumkate government to bring back stability and peace to Kenya. It has failed. Yeah? And I can tell you for free, it will never work. Not this time round. And so the answer to this mathematical problem of returning stability to Kenya is very simple. Another election. A free, fair, verifiable election whose results will be accepted by all those who participate. Transparent elections, not the kind of elections where results go into a server and the server is locked tight. No. Yeah? Now this answer to the problem, or this answer to the arithmetic problem, the way I've put it, yeah, is very obvious to many. It's very obvious to those who understand the Kenyan crisis and the Kenyan situation right now. And it will not be long before somebody somewhere realizes that that is the only solution. Somebody somewhere who is very powerful. Okay? It will not be long before the international community realizes that this is the simple, best, in fact the only solution to the Kenyan problem. Now let's look at this problem another way. Yeah? If both major political parties in the country sit down to negotiate today, yeah, it is very obvious, yes, that the discussions can only lead in one direction. Yeah, the formation of an interim government or an interim authority of some sort to prepare the country for free elections. So there you are, we are back to elections again. Indeed, whichever way you look at this problem, it is just elections. Fresh elections, fresh elections. Hakuna solution ingine. Now one would think that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Yeah? And therefore in the current where we are currently, we should just go straight for the solution. But human nature doesn't work like that. People will not leave power just like that. Yeah? And therefore what needs to happen is that a lot of drama is going to happen. Yeah, a lot of things are going to happen before we finally come back to the solution, which many people already know. I realize that I've taken too long on this election, Manenos, and therefore what I promised about Miguna will have to be in the next episode. Okay, you know the usual drill. Look out for the link on your top left-hand corner. Click on it, and it should be there. See you there in a bit. This is Kshs Kumekucha.